Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Shanti
evening,
here.
Shanti. Yeah,
Yes, Shanti here. It's so nice to see you.
same
Ma'am,
here.
yeah, I'm working with under Neeta Chakravarti, ma'am, and I'm working on Longing, Belonging, Neo-Diaspora in the South Asian novelists from
Okay,
selected novels from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka.
very interesting. Okay, very nice. You can also maybe put it on the chat box.
Yes,
So I
yes,
have
surely,
it
ma'am. I'll
for
do
my
that.
reference,
Yeah,
yeah, because I will
yes, surely.
be
Yes.
accordingly tailoring the
Okay.
examples that we choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
surely, ma'am.
the others can also share. Yeah. Okay, postmodern minimalism in the selected novels of Cormac McCarthy, Chuck Palahniuk, and Frederick Barthelin. Okay, very nice, Vikas. Anybody else? Rehana? Sanika?
I missed your question, ma'am. I just was able to join.
Your answer I already know.
Okay.
I'm just getting to know the others. Those who are working under me already know your topics. Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right.
yes, yes. So very nice, Sanika. Men, women, and the horrors of survival, gender constructs in selected Southern Ontario Gothic novels. Fascinating subject. Okay. Rehana? Rehana, what is your topic? Okay, not a problem. So today's session is titled as Exploring Online Resources, right? Now, we're going to be looking at what is the first step in any literature search, right? Today, we suffer from, I say suffer from because it's an age of information explosion, isn't it? There is too much information available to us. Sometimes, however, because there is so much information available to you, one of the first steps that presents a challenge to most of us who are seeking information is how to create a very well-focused question, isn't it?
Yes.
When you are trying to get into a literature search, you need to have a very clear idea of what you are researching in order that you are on track while researching, right? While searching for information. Can you tell me why this is very important? Why you should be very focused while you're searching for who has done any work in your field?
To remain focused, ma'am, because everything, there are many diverse themes that come across when we pick up any text.
Yes.
So we need to be focused on that. So I think that's why we need to.
Absolutely,
narrow
because
it.
it will save you valuable time. Otherwise, if you're going to be, not putting in questions which are very focused, you will have all kinds of unrelated records being thrown up by the database that you're working on or the search engine that you're working on. So a focused question will give you a better start with your search because it will help you determine appropriate keywords and what limitations you want to set for your topic. So when you're forming your question, you have to be very, very specific about your research topic. Now, you need to therefore develop a very clear search strategy. Now, how many of you worked on your search strategy? Are you clear about what I mean when I say develop a search strategy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What do you understand?
Yeah. We try to see, a thread or a linearity in all that text that I am searching for, like certain ideas which I see recurrent in all the novels. So I can put down those themes, those words, those ideas, and then try to look around those words with the novelists and the writers or that age time.
That too. And even where it comes to theoretical, tools,
Yes.
it is always better to have a planned and structured organization of terms that you're using when you're searching using any database. So you have to develop a very clear search strategy, which is basically a planned and structured organization of terms that you're using to search a database, right? So, for instance, the terms for keywords for Shanti, right, will be diaspora, isn't it?
Yes.
For Vikas, it would be postmodern minimalism and the names of those novelists. For Sanika, it would be probably gender constructs and Southern Ontario Gothic novels. Roshan and Maya and Dhanalakshmi have just joined us. It would be nice if you can share your topics too. And Vidya?
I'm working on posthumanism, science fiction.
Oh, very nice. Can you just put your topic on the chat box too, so we can turn to those also for examples. The others can also add their topics. Yes. So how many of you know about Boolean operators? How many of you use Boolean operators in your searches? How many of you use these? Can I see any hand raises? Are you aware of Boolean operators?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So basically today's session, I'm just trying to make you aware of certain things which will make your searches on various databases a little more planned and productive. Yeah. So Boolean operators are very simple words such as conjunctions that we normally use in English. For example, and, or, not, and not. I'll just put them on the chat box. Okay, so you are clear. These are the Boolean operators. Okay, so why are these important when you are planning a structured search? These conjunctions and these words, such as not and not, are used to combine or exclude keywords in a search. So for example, I am looking for results on Instagram poetry, and I want it connected to COVID-19. So I will use Instagram poetry and COVID-19, right? And if I want to exclude something, right, I want to save my time and effort by eliminating inappropriate hits that I need to scan and then discard. It will waste my time, right? So using these Boolean operators can greatly reduce or expand the amount of hits, the amount of records that are returned to you with every search. So they are very useful in saving your time by making your searches more focused, more on target results that are appropriate to your needs are therefore given to you by the search engine you're using. And it also eliminates unsuitable or inappropriate, records. Every search engine or database collection uses Boolean operators in a slightly different way. Sometimes certain databases or search engines want you to type them in capitals or with specific punctuation, right? So this specific phrasing will always be found in the guide to every database under research resources or on the help screen of that search engine. So for example, if you are running a search on, let us say, narratives of water, right? If your narratives and water, what will happen is you will get results that include both, right? But if you want either of the term or both the terms, then you will say narratives of water or graphic narratives. So both will be thrown up in the search. I hope you are with me and this is clear.
Yes.
Yes. You can also use the word not or and not, right? Where the first item will be searched. For example, let us look at the topics. Corporeal feminism in selected novels of Geeta Hariharan. All right. So I might tailor my search corporeal feminism and not feminism. You understand? So it is very clear that you only want work done on corporeal feminism by researchers to be thrown open to you under the results. And you do not want results which simply cover feminism. You understand? Sometimes using brackets to enclose search strategies also customizes your results to reflect your topic accurately. For example, you might say corporeal feminism or graphic narratives within brackets, yeah, and water. You understand? So putting the search words in brackets and then putting a keyword connecting it with and might yield very specific results. You can try this. This is why I had asked you to come with laptops. So if those of you who have laptops can actually try using parentheses according to your topics and see what kind of results are, records are thrown up for you. And is this a more efficient way? Do you find that this is more efficient than running a Google search in the normal course of things? Yes. So can we take a couple of minutes to try these out?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, those who have access to laptops, those who don't can use your phones. I'm sure you're able to use your devices and open another tab. Hello, Audrey. Dhanalakshmi, what is your topic?
Mine is aesthetization of violence in selected graphic novels.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You can also put your topic on the chat
I
box.
have actually. I'll put it again.
Oh, I am not able to see it for some
Okay,
reason.
I'll put it again, ma'am.
Ah, okay, right. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. It's gone up. Yeah,
All right, ma'am.
I can
Okay.
see it. Don't type it again.
All right, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. This brackets and this is giving us much more focused and much better results actually.
Wonderful. So you can just jot this down. In fact, I might, later on the group, share a little bit of info on Boolean operators, and you can maybe use that also, right? So that it's there for you to use. This is actually a very, very specific way of customizing your search so that you're not, getting results which are all over the place, and you are able to retrieve optimal results. Let us now briefly talk about, do you need some more time to experiment with this, the others? Can I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Okay, so we will now talk about tailoring your search and how to tailor your searches. Before we do that, tell me, what are the online, resources that you have experimented with so far to search when you're working on your topics? Freely available online resources. Which ones have you experimented with so far?
Regular Google and Google Scholar.
Okay, regular Google and Google Scholar. Excellent. Anybody else who has used anything other than regular Google and Google Scholar?
Ma'am, JSTOR, Infiblit.
JSTOR,
Yeah,
Inflipnet. Yes.
Through through the college, we have access to that, ma'am. So we have used that.
Excellent. Excellent. Anyone
I
else?
try to use academia.edu also at times.
Wonderful. Yes, academia.edu is also very useful.
ResearchGate is also good, ma'am.
Yes, ResearchGate is also good. Very good. Roshan?
Pretty much the same as everyone else right now. So
Okay.
yeah, nothing new to add as such.
All right. Anyone else who wants to add to what has already been discussed? Okay, so hopefully at the end of today's session, you will be able to add some more online resources, which you will be able to explore, right? Why I'm talking about tailoring your searches is because you may at the end of this session decide to develop separate search strategies for different sections or different aspects of your research, right? So you might have several chapters that you're working on, right? You might have a chapter scheme. So you will have to tailor your search differently for different sections of your dissertation, for different aspects of your search. And how are we going to ensure that we tailor our searches in order to optimize the results that we get from our search strategies? First of all, it is very important to use targeted keywords, right? Break up the topic you are researching into its main concepts. Then you define the keywords for each concept. Now, I'm sure all of you are working on several using several theoretical tools, several critical tools as lenses, isn't it, to look at your texts, right? So you will expand your list by defining keywords for each concept, right? And then expand your list by writing down synonyms and alternative phrasings for each keyword. Also, you need to use terms that you plan to include in your own manuscript. This will help you use more precise terms to define your concepts. So usually the human tendency is, if we are looking for information, we will just type it like a question we are asking. For example, if you want to just simply ask, how fast can a cheetah run? We just type, how fast can a cheetah run on the search bar, right? But the keyword which actually is going to be helpful to make your search an effectively formulated search is missing. Can you tell me what is the missing word? How fast can a cheetah run?
Perhaps speed.
Absolutely right. Speed is the missing word. So every time you are entering something on your search bar, please remember to add a keyword to arrive at a better query. So a query which is far better than how fast can a cheetah run would be cheetah running speed, right? So formulating an effective search means that every word in your query matters. If you're putting who or, what, every little word or and or not, every word matters. The word order also matters. Right? So illness narrative will give you a different result. Narrative of illness will give you a different result. Right? Similarly, you can limit your searches by designating language and media type. Are you looking for a PPT on the topic? So you can limit your search to images, videos, books, journal articles, right? Punctuation and capitalization do not usually matter except for the Boolean operators that I was talking about. In case of Boolean operators, punctuation as well as capitalization matters a lot, right? Now, there are several digital sources of information. So where do you search? So Shanti was talking about institutional repositories. These are accessible to people who are working with a college as teaching staff or who are registered in the research center of a college. So that particular library's repositories, and if the library has an institutional membership of other libraries, then all these facilities automatically become available to you. Alternatively, you can also take membership of libraries. For example, a very good resource is the British Council or the American Consulate's library called Dosti House, right, which has its own library. The charges are minimal, but they have institutional repositories like ProQuest, which is international dissertations on every topic under the sun, which are regularly updated. So the latest dissertations, as latest as 2022, get updated there regularly. So it is cutting edge research which is being updated on ProQuest. So you can actually go through the dissertations of people who are working internationally. Nationally also, I'm sure you are aware of portals like Shodh Ganga, and what is the other one? Shodh Ganga, and the other one I forget. There is another government-run institutional repository of thesis and dissertations, right? Gangotri, Shodh Gangotri. Are you aware of these?
Shodh Ganga, I know, ma'am.
Yeah, Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri. So these are also there. There are conference papers available to you, government publications available to you, subject gateway portals available to you, right? Newspaper articles, and under MLA 9th edition, all these can be cited. Statistics, yearbooks are all available to you. Digital resources, therefore, not only include databases, also include search engines, include e-journals, and today so many e-journals are available, right? E-theses and dissertations, e-books, library portals, library resources, e-statistics, library networks. For example, if you have friends or relatives who are abroad and are part of some library, you can ask them to download materials and send them to you, right? Then you have digital archives. You have various discussion forums on online MOOCs, right, which also give you access to information. Virtual conferences that you can be part of and access information. Virtual help desks, e-newspapers. There is no dearth, but widely recognized, very widely recognized as one of the best general web search engines is, of course, your Google. Several magazines have rated it as the topmost search engine, as the most favored search engine of professional reviewers, because it consistently turns up high quality and highly relevant results. Hundreds of millions of people around the world use Google search more than any other web service as they try to seek information on anything under the sun, right? What are the basic features of Google which make it so user-friendly? By default, Google only returns pages that include all your search terms. There is no need sometimes to include and between terms. It will include and automatically, right? It's an automatic and inclusion, right? Also, it automatically excludes common words. So Google ignores common words and characters, as well as certain single digits and single letters, because these tend to slow down your search without improving the results. Google will also indicate to you if a common word has been excluded by displaying details on the results page below in the search box. Sometimes capitalization is also not a problem. Google searches are not at all case sensitive. So whether you search for SARS-CoV with SARS in caps or in the lowercase, it does not matter. All your search results will be the same. It also provides you with an automatic spell checker, which automatically looks at your query to see that you're using the most common version of a word spelling. Sometimes if there is a likelihood that an alternative spelling would be retrieving more relevant results, Google will prompt you. Did you mean this with a more common spelling? Yes, I'm sure you've encountered all this.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you have gone into an advanced search? How many of you used advanced search? Anyone here who's used advanced search?
I have, ma'am, but not very effectively though.
Okay.
It has not got.
Yeah, same here, ma'am.
Okay. So
Even I
let's.
have tried to search, but then
Uh-huh.
it was not very effective. I found that more irrelevant documents came up
So
during the search.
we can streamline our advanced search, Rehana and Sudha. Let us look at how to streamline it. First of all, I'm going to talk about file type searches. Okay. So this is something that you can explore. For example, if you are using quotation marks, all right, and saying Instagram poetry and COVID-19, right, in quotation marks, and you type file type without a space in between, file type colon PPT. Okay, I'm just file type colon PPT. After putting your, wait, the caps lock is on, file type colon PPT. So let us say we are using post-human subjects and identities, right? Put a space. Are you able to see this? This is the first kind of search. I would like you to try it for your own topics. Those who are able to use laptops, those who are on other devices. Can you try this for your topics? Because if any academician has ever posted a PPT on this topic, nationally, internationally, in any of his institutions, and it is available on a public domain for public view, you will get those PPTs. Even if the PPT includes a bibliography, it will end up being very useful for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Does this work for you? Take a few minutes to try it out on your subject. Enter whatever keyword. It could be something that you're working on, could be part of an abstract you're working on for your coursework. It could be your own topic of research. It could be one aspect of your topic for one chapter. Okay. All right. So Roshan says there are 0 results. This is reassuring because yours is cutting edge then. No one has worked on it and posted a PPT yet. Yeah. Anyone? Okay. So it is at least reassuring to know that you have
0 results.
nobody working on this topic, isn't it?
Yes.
Whereas if you're teaching a topic, let us say it's William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, Audrey got 1 result. All right. And you try it out on Macbeth or any other Shakespearean play.
Yes, ma'am. For Hamlet, we do
Yes.
get a lot.
Yes. So you will obviously be able to retrieve results. If anything, this helps you, reassures you that not many people have worked on your topic, right? Sometimes, let's move on. The best way to ask a question is to get Google to fill in the blank by adding an asterisk at the part of the sentence or question that you want finished into the Google search box. So maybe I want to type photography is, and then I put an asterisk. Google will fill in the blanks for you. All right. So whatever word, maybe a key term, maybe a concept, maybe a critical term, right, that you want to know what it means as you're working, as you're reading, you want to have more information on this critical term because you're clueless. It's something new that you have just come across. Simply doing this will help you get results. I want you to try this on any critical term that you are grappling with now or reading about currently.
Yes, ma'am. Throwing up lot of options. Very
Yes.
relevant also.
Yes, so it's an easy way to get results.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Can we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now let's talk about Google Scholar. Now, what is the difference between Google and Google Scholar? Let us understand that Google Scholar, as the name suggests, is a more scholarly, academically rigorous approach towards researching than the unfiltered haystack approach of Google, which just about throws anything and everything, including your Wikipedia, right? Google Scholar is therefore a much better free academic search engine. It is the academic version of Google, which only selects and searches repositories of publishers, universities, or scholarly websites. It is a smaller subset of the pool that Google searches. It is all automatic, but it is still very reliable scholarly sources. What is the difference between the two? Google is less careful in what it includes in the search results. Okay, that is, Google Scholar, on the other hand, is a more curated search. It is a more subscription-based search. It will focus on academic databases It will also make your own assessment, of the credibility of the resources that are linked through Google Scholar easier. You will find that it is better than normal Google to find research papers. The interface of Google Scholar is very comfortable and familiar to anyone who is already habituated to Google. Okay, but there are a number of useful differences from a regular Google search, which as you move further in your process of completing your PhD, you will find. The first option that Google Scholar gives you is that it allows you the option to copy a formatted citation in different styles. For example, let's say you're working on a research paper for a particular journal, okay, intending to publish, because all of you know that as part of your research, you need to publish at least 2 articles along with your guide, right? What are they called? UGC care listed journals, peer-reviewed journals, right? And UGC care listed journals, internationally recognized journals, academically rigorous journals, right? So you may find that certain journals want the citations in the MLA format. Certain other journals want the citation in the APA format. So when you use Google Scholar, you can simply copy the formatted citation in different styles, including MLA, and export the bibliographic data. Whether you want to use MLA or APA, you can simply export it. It allows you to change the style very, very easily. It also aids you to use reference management software links, which allows you to explore which other works have cited the listed work. So along with whatever you have as your results, it will also show you which other works have cited or listed the same article. And it becomes a window to other relevant areas of research. It also gives you links that allow you to segregate full text versions of an article from those which are not full text versions. So you immediately can make out which articles are available in full text version. It is free to search in Google Scholar, but most of the content is not usually freely available. But Google does its best to find copies of restricted articles in public repositories, which contain preprints. All right, so it's not as if it is not going to throw up any results. To sum up, how is Google Scholar different from normal Google? Normal Google is a great tool to find general information, whereas Google Scholar is a great tool for research-related information. Okay. Normal Google searches all available internet publications like websites, blogs, Wikipedia, books, and more. Whereas Google Scholar restricts its searches and its results to academically rigorous scholarly publications, such as journal articles, theses, books, chapters in books, abstracts, court opinions. Okay. Court opinions, by the way, can be a very useful resource sometimes, right? Because there might have been a case involving something that you're researching on. That's something, sometimes an area we don't explore, but court opinions do a lot of research. Baal ki khal nikal dete, right? So you might have a published repository of a court opinion, which has researched everything there is under the sun on that topic. So you might be surprised when court opinions, throw up data, facts, especially historical facts, when you're dealing with a particular text that involves something like partition, government records on partition, right? You'll be surprised with the results. The ranking system that Google considers, normal Google considers, is relevance. popularity of the site, proximity, and types of resources, types of sources. Whereas the ranking system for Google Scholar, it begins with relevancy, it begins with author, then goes on to publisher, and then goes on to citation by other publications. So it is a very, very scholarly way of doing research. Now, if you are the kind of person who likes to search with more than one box, then the advanced search on Google Scholar is for you. If you want to search for your keyword in the title of the article and not just in the article's text, then Google Scholar is for you. If you're looking for a specific article or publication, then please look for it under Google Scholar. If you're looking for a work by a specific author, go to Google Scholar, go to under books and limit your search by date. That way you will also get the latest books, latest research articles. I want you to try Google Scholar now. Open a tab and try to limit your search by date. So when you open Google Scholar, you will see that there is a box open. I don't know if you're able to open Google Scholar on another tab and
Yes,
go
ma'am.
under advanced search options.
Advanced. Okay.
Yes, you will see find articles and the options will be with all of the words, with the exact phrase, with at least one of the words, without the words, and where the words occur. Do you see these and boxes besides each of these under advanced scholar search?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So you can see 5 boxes open there. So under where any words occur, you select anywhere in the article.
Yeah.
Okay. So advanced search gives you many more boxes in which you can enter your keywords. So make sure when you are on Google Scholar that you read what is written to the left and put your keywords in the correct corresponding box rather than punching your words anywhere and everywhere. Put it in the correct corresponding box, right? Also, never forget to check the drop down list, okay? And select the location where you want your keywords to be found. So do you want it to be found in the text of an article or in the title? Accordingly, you will put your request. I want you to try this, please. Are you guys aware of this?
No.
Okay. So I want you to try it and let me know if your search improved as a result of this. Use any of the keywords that are relevant to your work. Roshan, any luck this time?
Yeah. Going on it, ma'am. Working on it.
Okay, okay. Dhanlakshmi?
Yes, ma'am, it's working for me. I even limited the timeline,
Okay,
tried that,
great.
but the title one that doesn't work for me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe you can go in for
Anywhere in the
anywhere in the article.
Yeah.
That is always a better way.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Will you just note all this down somewhere so that you can use this for your future searches? Did the others Get any results?
Yes, a lot, ma'am. I think
Okay.
this is better.
Okay.
Much
Awesome.
more. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Yes, ma'am.
let's move on now to understanding the advanced search interface a little more, right? Let's try and understand. You can gain even more fine-grained control over your search by using the advanced search feature. Let us say you're in the exploration stage of information seeking. Then an advanced search could prematurely limit whatever information you are seeing. But if you're familiar with the results that are retained, then an advanced search can give you additional control over the search to help you narrow down or to yield more relevant results. Right? Now, this feature is available by clicking on the hamburger menu in the upper left and selecting the advanced search menu items, right? So just now you kind of decided find articles, right? You saw this with all of the words. And let's say you put all of the keywords that you're interested in, 2 or 3 or 4 keywords on the first box with all of the words. Try that. Then select where my words occur, that is anywhere in the article. Then you select return articles authored by. So if there is a particular author that you are, researching, then let's say you want Arjun Appadurai and only articles by Arjun Appadurai. Then you put his name there. Or if you're looking for articles published in a particular journal, then you can put the journal's name. You can also ask Google Scholar to return articles dated between. That is what I think Dhanlakshmi was trying, right? You can do that between, let's say, 1996 to 2022. So earlier results won't be included. So you can narrow your search this way, right? I want you to try this now, please. Now, when you get your results, how many of you have got results now after running these searches?
Got, ma'am. Got.
Yeah. You will notice that the first line of the result is in blue.
Yes.
Yes. And below that, you have something in green. So you will notice what is in green and what is in blue. Let's understand that. What is in blue is the title of the article, book chapter, or conference paper. Right? That is what is in blue. And you will notice that your keywords are all highlighted in those articles. Do you notice that?
Yes.
Yes. So let's understand what you are getting in your results. Specifically, let's understand that. Okay. Next, let's look at the item in green. Okay, the line in green. Those are specifically referring to the author or authors of your resources. So it's very important that you record all this, because as you come across something relevant to you, remember you need to cite these. So please make a note of it. In fact, I would suggest on your computer or laptop, you should create a folder for each of your chapters and a bibliography for each of your chapters to help you cite later on. So as you come across something, immediately, without being lazy about it, immediately jot down the details. in the MLA 9th edition format, because by the time you guys submit, right, the MLA 9th edition will be a requirement, right? And you need to then understand how to cite your sources. So keep one folder for each of your chapters. Anything that you read relevant, at the end of each chapter, keep a bibliography, and it will be easy for you to make your master bibliography later. Let us now understand in that green line, you will see to the rightmost end of that green line, you will see additional publication information. That is the date of publication of that journal article, the publisher, or the website. Do you see that?
Yes.
That is also very important for you. So let's try and look at the nitty-gritties. Now, below the green line, do you see? Below the green line, do you see some thing in black print?
Yes.
That is the information that is being given, which contains snippets from resources containing these search words in bold. You will notice these snippets are being given to you, right? This is very important. So you will know that, oh, this is what is the being referred to in this article. Is it relevant to you or not? Immediately you will know at a glance.
Yes.
Okay, so if it is very scientific, then it's not important to you. If it is something in your area of interest, then you click on it. Otherwise, it allows you to eliminate it. So it's a more efficient way of understanding your search results. Let us now look at what is given below these few lines in black, these snippets. You will see that there are 3 words, cited by, followed by a number. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is this important? Because it gives you a link to a list of a host of other articles that have cited this resource or included this resource in their references. Do you understand? So let's say it says cited by 353 people. Cited by 353. So what is this 353? 353 links to 353 other articles that have cited this resource or have included this resource in their reference. So it's a window to 363 more people who have used this. You understand? This is helpful for you because it allows you to link the reference pages of these resources together and also shows you who is citing who. Now, this will help you to expand your bibliography. Now, please try and focus on what I'm trying to tell you. It will help you expand your bibliography. So, other than books written by authors themselves, if you are getting an article published in a journal or a chapter in a book, then you can cite the name of the author who has authored that article or that journal in your bibliography. So this cited by 363 allows you to expand your bibliography exponentially. Do you realize the relevance of what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
it is likely to list resources that pick up from where the original resource left off. So either it has continued that study or it has updated the finding, right? So when something has been cited a lot, it means that this is a clue. So when you see that it's only cited by 4, it's only cited by 3 people, and another which is cited by 585 people, then it means that this resource is something you need to dig deeper into. Why? Because this resource was foundational, it was revolutionary, or it was controversial. more recent works are less likely to have been cited a lot, simply because there has not been enough time for this new research to emerge. Okay, so sometimes don't brush aside those entries which have been cited only by few people, especially, cutting edge research, latest research. Not much time has, gone past after this research is published, and therefore not many people have cited this work. You understand? So you have to differentiate, look at the date, and then judge whether this is a important resource for you or not. Does this help you understand your search results better?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we move on to next to cited by and followed by a number. Do you see the words related articles?
Yes.
When you click on that, you will notice that it will immediately take you to additional resources on the same topic. Right?
Yes.
Has it yielded more results?
Yes, ma'am. We got into ResearchGate, Research Scholar. They're given so many.
Yes, yes. So this is a far better approach than the haystack approach offered by Google.
Yes.
All right, Sudha, have you been exploring Google Scholar this way?
Not in the advanced search, ma'am. I will henceforth. It's
Okay.
much better.
Okay, right. So everyone is on the same page with me up to related articles?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let us now go on to finding full texts of the resource. If the full text of the resource is available, right, it will tell you. When you go into related articles, it will tell you, right? Google Scholar will give you the link of this, right? If the full text of the resource, for example, is offered by a particular college or through the repository of a particular college, then you will see a link to find it with what is called as O links. Do you see it? Any college database? You will find O links. EDU, the ending will be some EDU or ORG.
Yes, ma'am.
Or NET. Do you see these PDFs?
Yes.
So if
Yes, ma'am. ORG is visible.
yes,
Yeah.
so if you click, you will directly link to that library's electronic journal holdings. But this will happen only if you have set your preferences to include the Ohio link library in your preferences. Remember when I was talking
Link to
about
preferences.
setting your preferences? Yeah. So you have to include the Ohio link library as one of your preferences. Then you will immediately be taken to the full text of the article in that library's repository or collection. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to access these O links?
No.
Ma'am, this is also in Google Scholar. I just missed a few of
Yes,
what
yes.
you-
This is also in Google Scholar.
Oh,
When
let
you
me
go
check.
on to related articles
Uh-huh.
and you get the results under articles and, patents, all right, that there are 3 boxes on top. You can say anytime, you can include citations, and you will see in blue, you'll see the titles of several related articles in front of you. Yes?
Yeah, I'm
And
just
you will be in brackets, it will tell you if this is a PDF, full text resource or not.
Mm.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I'm just one moment.
Yeah. This was the reason I had said that, it would be preferable if it's a
Yeah,
laptop because it is
correct.
easy on the eyes than a device like a mobile phone. But it's
That's true.
okay once you know how to do this. Whenever a laptop is accessible to you, you guys can try it on a laptop.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
The others are able to
Yes, ma'am.
access full text?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Can we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am. I'll check it in the laptop later.
Yes. Now, if you look under the full text articles that are available to you, you will see that the first line is in blue, right? And you have the core information, that is the title, authors, journal name, and the year of publication. Okay, in the first line, first two lines of each of these results.
Yes.
Yes, the second line provides you with bibliographic information about the document. I'm just summing up everything, right? In order, that is, it will tell you the author, the journal or book that it appears in, the year of publication and the publisher. When you click on the title link, it will bring you to the publisher's page where you may be able to access more information about the document. You will be able to access the abstract, and it will prompt you with an option to download the PDF of the document. So will you click on that blue link, blue line?
Yes, did it now.
Did it give you option to download the PDF?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will see, for example, the word PDF in caps in square brackets,
Yes.
followed by maybe a library's
Yes.
website. So you might see umic.edu, or it will say McGill Library full text.
Yes.
Do you see links like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So these are very important because they allow you quick full text access options, right? Some entries are provided with a link to the full text either as a PDF or as HTML. If you notice to the far right of your entry, you will get more direct options for obtaining the full text of the document. For example, a publicly available PDF, if it is there as part of a library's repository, it will be posted under that website with the letters EDU at the end after the dot. Okay. However, it is not guaranteed that the version of the article that was finally published in the journal is the version here, but it will still be helpful to you. Yes. So if you notice, at the end of every article in the related articles, after the word cited by and then followed by the number and the words related articles, you will get three words, all 8 versions or all 13 versions or all 4 versions. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
That means that there is the journey of this article, where various versions of this article are available as publicly accessible resources. So not necessary that this is the version that was finally published in the journal. It might be one of the versions as the writer was or author was working on various versions and he improved on it, and finally the final version was published. But it helps, right? Is this clear? Have you understood
Yes, ma'am.
how to interpret your search results here under Google Scholar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am.
Now, the bottom line below the text snippet or abstract, you will find a number of useful links. The cited by link, as I said, shows you other articles that have cited this resource. This is a very, very useful feature. First of all, it is a good way to track the most recent research that has referenced this article. And it also lends that document greater credibility because many other researchers have already used it. However, I want to give you a word of caution. You must always be aware that there is a lag in the publication time. So an article that is published in 2017 or 2021, let's say 2021, will not have an extensive number of citations by results because it takes a minimum of 6 months for most articles to get published. So if you see something in 2021 of December or 2022 March, an article that has used this resource, but the most recent article, remember, has not been published yet. So revisit this every now and then in order to keep track of what is happening by way of cutting edge research internationally. Okay? Don't just abandon this thread. Revisit it because every 6 months, this is getting updated with the latest publications. Okay, right. Now the versions link, which I was talking about, will display other versions of the article or remember I told you all related 8 versions or 3 versions or other databases where the article may be found, some of which may offer free access to the article. Now you notice a quotation mark icon there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
when you click on that quotation mark icon, it will display a pop-up with commonly used citation formats such as MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver that may be copied and pasted. So this helps you to copy paste this info on your bibliography. Again, a note of caution. The Google Scholar citation data is sometimes incomplete. So it might be a good idea to double check this data at the source. That is by following the title link to the publisher's website. The site pop-up also includes links for exporting the citation data, such as BibTeX or RIS files that any major reference manager can import. Right? BibTeX or RIS. Let me just put this on the chat box. Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it getting too much for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this too much info?
No, ma'am. No. It's good
All
info.
right.
Thank you.
Tell me if you're already tired.
No, ma'am, not yet.
Not yet.
Can we continue for a few minutes more till 5:30? Are you good?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure,
Yes.
ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yes. All right. So let's just look at some more tips for your literature research. Although Google Scholar limits each search to a maximum of 1,000 results, even this, 1,000 results that it throws up becomes too much to explore. And therefore, you need an effective way of locating the relevant articles. So I'm going to share some more tips which will help to save your time and help you search more effectively. First of all, Google Scholar searches are not case sensitive. That is, if you put the words Instagram poetry without capitals anywhere in the word, or you put Instagram poetry with I and P capital, you will get the same results. So Google Scholar searches are not case sensitive. Second tip, use keywords instead of full sentences. Let us say your research topic is about illness narratives, right? So instead of a regular Google search where you will say, what is the current cutting edge research on illness narratives, you will not see ideal results for such a query. The trick in Google Scholar is to build a list of keywords and perform searches for them very specific. So if you start typing in the search field, and I want you to open a tab and put in your search words, even as you type, you will see related queries which are suggested by Google Scholar. Even as you start typing, is this happening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you can simply select one which is closest to what you are looking for. Did that help?
Yes.
Yeah. The other tip which I'm giving you for your literature search is to use quotation marks to search for an exact match. You put your search phrase in quotation marks, all right? Then you can search for exact matches of that phrase in the title of an article and also in the body text of the document. If you put your search phrase without quotation marks, Google Scholar will treat each word separately. All right. So for example, if you are searching for national parks, the words will not necessarily appear together. It will select everything and show you everything that contains the word national and will show you everything that contains the word park. So don't look for words like Instagram and poetry separately. Put Instagram poetry in quotation marks, put illness narratives in quotation marks, and you will see your results are vastly different. I want you to try this, please.
No.
Take a few minutes and try this. Open a tab and try this. Is this working for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, great, Pramana. Now, if you add the year to your search phrase, you will get articles published in a particular year. For example, let's say you use self-driving cars 2015. You will get all the articles on books published in 2015 on that topic. So latest publications become accessible to you. Will you try this?
Yes.
Specifically with regard to, your topic, Sudha, this will be very, very useful to you. Post-pandemic is when, most of the
Yes.
work is done
Okay.
on your topic. So add the year to the search phrase to get articles published in a particular year. So you can run separate searches for separate years.
Mm.
Does this help?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you notice, there is on your left-hand panel, you have certain sidebar controls to adjust your search result. Do you see the options on the left-hand panel?
Include patents, ma'am. Include
Yeah,
something.
you can further, correct, absolutely right. You can further restrict your search results by limiting the years covered by research, the inclusion or exclusion of patents, and you can sort the results by relevance or by date.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
Next, we come to using. Do you want to try this out for 2 minutes?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And let me know when I can move ahead.
the phone doesn't allow all these features, ma'am. I'll have to do it later.
No
at
problem.
the
You not
laptop.
note it down, Sudha.
Yeah,
And later on, when you have access to your laptop, you can do it.
yes.
No problem.
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am. It's getting more structured and clear.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
See, sometimes we just, in class, we just say
Yeah.
Google Scholar,
Yeah.
but nobody really handholds us,
Yes.
Nobody taught us, we learned the hard way. So at least, you guys can benefit from our mistakes, isn't it?
Okay.
So using Boolean operators to better control your searches, which I was referring to Boolean operators earlier.
Yes.
So there are a number of Boolean operators that you can use to control your search, and these, remember, must be capitalized. So you can use and, you can use or, you can use not,
And not.
to control your search results.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm going to move on if you have tried this out already now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Let me also list some very important full text electronic resources. NList, I think most of you have already tried. Yes. InflibNet, NList,
Yes.
most of you who have
Yes.
access to some institution's library have already tried InflibNet and NList. There is another one which there are a few more which I want to mention. One is DOAJ. How many of you have tried this? This is the directory of open access journals. Any of you who have tried this?
No, ma'am.
You can jot it down. Directory of open access journals. This was actually launched in 2003 in Sweden at Lund University. And initially, when it began, it only had about 300 open access journals. Today, it contains more than 10,000 open access journals covering all areas of science, technology, medicine, social science, humanities. So specifically from the point of view of research in COVID-19 and illness narratives. And so many of you also have post-human subjects, right? Narratives of water, corporeal feminism, science fiction. You will find several results here. Okay. Will you try this, please?
Okay.
On another tab, can you open another tab? Close the other tabs, because if too many tabs are open, you will not be able to access anything. Your thing will become too heavy. Yeah. Are you getting any results? Directory of open access journals.
Yeah. Yes. Do you know?
Refining your search phrases
Yes.
remains the same, but now the electronic resources have changed, right? I'm asking you to explore different databases. Yes, Pramod, are you getting anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. So can we move on to the next one, or would you like to share your results here? Anyone who got anything useful here? Shanti?
Yes, ma'am. I've got on diaspora a lot.
You've got lots on diaspora.
Yeah, border crossings.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So you can even specifically tailor your research to include every kind of diaspora that you're working on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so basically, you'll be swimming in material.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Anyone else who has found some more e-resources, full text resources for your topic? What about Dhanalakshmi, Sanika, Roshan, Vidya?
Yes, ma'am. I found one article I was looking for.
Ah, how nice.
Yeah.
All
Art,
right.
Terrorism, and the Negative Sublime by Arnold Berlin.
Awesome. That is great.
Thank you.
Even
ma'am.
I found a few different results from the rest.
Awesome. Awesome. Right. So shall we move on? You will make a note of this and you can explore this later or,
Yes, ma'am.
at leisure. The next one that I want to mention to you is SSRN. Formerly, it was called the Social Science Research Network. Okay. And it is a repository and an international journal which is devoted to the rapid dissemination of scholarly research in social sciences and humanities. So it's a very useful resource. I think you should tap this. Social Science Research Network. Did you jot that down? Am I going too fast for you?
No, ma'am.
Social Science Research Network. You take some time to, couple of minutes to explore this. Yes, anyone? Were you able to access this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Rehana?
Yeah, a few of the articles, I don't know how relevant they are, but yes, I'm able to access it.
Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, because I did not come across these on any other online resources.
These are all
They
open
are different for
access.
me.
They're
Yes.
all open access, freely available. You don't have to be a member or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, wow.
Yes. So, but you will be able to now, just as you have interpreted, the Google Scholar results, you will be able to interpret your search results here also, because this is a uniform kind of a way of presenting search results. You understand?
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes, ma'am.
okay, what does it mean when it says cited by 5,000 people, right? It's 5,000 articles. It means this is a very foundational article. You must
Article.
look at it, right? If it is only cited by
Yes.
1 or 2 and it is very, very recent, then also look at it. It means it is cutting edge work. Not enough time has passed for people to cite it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. We then move on to fill papers. I'll just put it on the chat box. Fill papers. Yes. Now, much of the work that we do in literature, literary theory, comes from philosophy, right? So this is a directory of online articles and books in philosophy, right? So specifically, for example, if you're looking at a philosophical take on trauma, pain, suffering, right? Post-human. This particular directory is maintained by David Chalmers and other philosophers. Not all the material is peer-reviewed, of course, but it can be an excellent means of finding recently published works in philosophy, philosophy of mind and of consciousness. It's very well covered. So if any of you is looking for something related to the philosophy of mind and of consciousness, I don't know if that helps any one of you in any of your topics. Does it? Fill papers? Will you try it?
Yes, ma'am, I did find a lot of articles on aesthetical representation.
You are working on aesthetization of violence, isn't it,
Yes, ma'am.
Dhanalakshmi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So you'll find a lot. Even if it is obliquely related, it will lead you to other areas, you know. Why not explore? It might give you another angle. Even Roshan might find this useful.
I am actually sifting through a lot of material.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Okay. All right. How are you guys placed now? I think we are going to be close to 5:30. You know, I don't want to kind of bombard you with too much. Are you good to go for a few more minutes, or should we end here and continue on another day? Or shall I just wind up with a few more resources I think I have?
Ma'am, you can wind up with.
I will complete it today, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. So, you know, when we are on a roll, let's just finish this. Yeah. Okay. There are many more open access resources. So I'm going to now talk about the social science open access repository. The social science open access repository, or SSOAR. All right. This full form is Social Science Open Access Repository. This is a database that specializes in scholarly articles from the social sciences, which are freely accessible on the internet. The best thing about all of this is open access. All right. Digital, online, free of charge, free of most copyright and licensing restrictions. What makes it possible is the internet and the consent of the author or the copyright holder. Yeah, which is what makes it very useful to us. So shall we take 2 minutes to try this out? Are you able to open another tab and try this?
Yes, ma'am.
And put your search words, whatever your areas of interest or topics are. You know, you can access, you can find that for different chapters or for different aspects of your research, different databases are helpful. You can make a note in your folders, you know, that this database gives you many more articles to read for this particular part of the chapter. Or the third chapter, this database is more useful. So you revisit it. Yes? Any results with SSOAR?
Yes, ma'am. So much of international work, which is,
Yes.
yeah.
Quite an amazing universe
Yeah.
this is, I tell you. So which is why we are all hooked to this, you know. It's so addictive. You just kind of swimming in material half the time, and you realize that we are absolutely unaware, and so much work being done internationally. And by the time that theory reaches us, you know, it's a few years down the line.
Yeah, so much.
Yes, absolutely. So shall we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The next
ma'am.
one that I want to talk about is the Hathi Trust. Now, even though it sounds very funny, it's useful. Yeah, I'll just put it on the chat box. You have the spelling. The Hathi Trust. Hathi, yes, as in the elephant. It is a partnership of academic and research institutions which offers a collection of millions of titles digitized from libraries around the world. God, you and I would never have thought it possible, but there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to open it another tab and try it out?
Yes, ma'am. Good.
Now I'm asking you to do this right away. So even for me, I'm just reassuring myself and you that this is available. It's still accessible. Nothing has been, taken off from the open access resources that are available to you.
Ma'am, can you please spell it?
I have put it on the chat box for you.
Ma'am, it's not visible actually for me.
Vidya is not visible. You're not
The
able to
chat box.
see the chat
No, no.
box?
I'm able
No,
to
ma'am.
see the chat box, but the one you have typed now, it is not visible.
It's not there.
Okay. Okay. Is your network, is it just Vidya? or the
Perhaps
others?
you have not sent it, ma'am. Maybe you typed it, but you
Oh, I
haven't sent
typed
it.
it and sent it twice
I
actually.
could help you
It's
out.
probably not sent to everyone. It's probably sent only to one person. So you have
I
to
could
select
help you out, sir.
everyone.
You're sending it just to me, ma'am.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Thank you, Dhanalakshmi. I didn't realize that it was a direct message only to Roshan. I'm so sorry. I
Right.
just
You can click on everyone.
yeah.
And
Zoom is not an interface I use regularly. Actually, I use
Yeah.
MS Teams. I'm more used to MS Teams. So yeah. Okay. And now, of course, for the last 8 months, refreshingly so, we are on totally an
Yeah.
offline mode, thank
Yeah.
God. So, I'm doing this after a long time. So I'm so sorry for having not messaged on the group, yeah? And thank you, Dhanalakshmi, for. Will you try this Hathi Trust?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Okay.
Useful?
Yes. There's so much to read now.
Yes, I know. It's a good thing,
Yeah.
right, for you?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Don't kind of panic.
No.
You can do this at your own time,
Yes.
at your own pace, and you can systemize your searches. That's the whole objective of this
Yeah.
session. It's not to kind of pressurize you, but it is to tell you that all these open access
Yes.
sources are available from the comfort of your home at the
Yes.
click of a mouse. You don't have to budge, right?
True. True, ma'am.
And you can refine your
Ma'am,
results. Yes, Rehanna.
ma'am, can we use the Boolean operators in these search boxes as well? And
Absolutely. They are universal. Boolean
yes,
operators are
universal.
universal.
Okay.
Only whether they have to be capitalized, you have to remember that they have to be capitalized.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah? Yes. Can we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So there is another archive called the PhilSci archive. Yeah, I'll just type it. Select everyone in the meeting. Otherwise, this is now going to only go to one person. PhilSci archive. Are you able to see my text now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this particular archive is an online archive for philosophy of science preprints. Okay. So this is also a very useful open access resource. Not many people are aware of these resources. Would you like to try it?
Yes, ma'am. We're trying.
Yeah. Are you getting any useful articles here?
It's more like a science oriented, no, ma'am. So it's
Yeah,
a little.
it's not so relevant to humanities, but in some of your topics, it might be.
Yes.
For
Ma'am.
some
Yes,
of your
ma'am. There is something
topics,
called social psychology, which
Yes.
could be read into, and for many of the topics that students have taken here, I think that would be relevant. Something could come up definitely.
yes, it's an avenue that is worth exploring. Okay, so unexpectedly something might, be thrown open. The next resource that I'm going to introduce you to is called Wi-Fi, but it's spelled differently, not like our Wi-Fi. I have posted it on the chat box. Wi-Fi,
Okay.
but it is Wi-Fi with a PHI, not an FI. Wi-Fi's mission is to introduce people to the practice of philosophy by making videos that are freely available in a form that is entertaining, interesting, and accessible to people with no background in the subject. So I think this is a great service, yeoman service, right? Because many of us, you will notice, work very well with videos sometimes.
Yes.
It's like having someone to teach you at your pace, isn't it? So it's entertaining, interesting, and accessible when you have no background at all. Some new term that you've never come across now. So many repositories and resources suddenly have come up, and you're reading and you find a term that you have no clue whatsoever, and you're just tired of reading. You want to take a break. Open this platform, Wi-Fi, open access philosophy, and try and look at videos on the subject. So this will not throw up articles, it will throw up videos, right? Like your YouTube, but different, academic YouTube, if I may call it. Would you want to try it? Are you able to access this?
You search in the videos, no, ma'am?
Yes. So your search words should match. See, YouTube, anything and everything is there, right? But here only scholarly, you will get academic videos.
Okay.
They're also entertaining sometimes. So even if you're looking for something for your students, Shanti.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on now to the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy. The Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy. See, all of you are doing your doctorate of philosophy. That is what PhD is. Yes. So it's a philosophy of whatever area of interest. So you will find this was founded in 1995 to provide open access to detailed and scholarly information on key topics and philosophers in all areas of philosophy. So sometimes you'll find very unique takes on your subjects, obliquely connected to your subject or foundationally connected to your subject in this Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Again, open access.
Yes.
You will find several scholarly entries. Any of you who has successfully tried it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it throwing open some
Yes.
searches?
Yes, ma'am. Samajh mein.
Anything of relevance to your area of interest?
Just one, ma'am.
Okay.
Just one, but what reading?
All right. Okay. The next one I would like to introduce you to is the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Also very, very useful. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Okay. Next, I am going to move on to electronic repositories of thesis and dissertations. Remember, I told you about a national repository of electronic thesis and dissertations called InflibNet Shodh Ganga, right?
Yes.
Similarly, you have InflibNet Shodh Gangotri, which is a national repository of Indian research in progress. This one, that is Shodh Gangotri, has various synopses and research proposals there. So if you are interested in, applying for what is called as minor research projects or major research projects, you want to find out how many people have put in proposals or synopsis related to your topic. InflibNet Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri. Should I put it on the chat box? These are useful.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have NDLTD. Okay. NDLTD. I'll give you the full form of this. It is Networked Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertations. Networked Digital Library of Thesis, in the plural please, and dissertations. See, in our time when we were doing our doctorates years ago, we used to actually go to the university libraries and look at physical, dissertations, dusty. Yeah, and it was very laborious. But now, look at it, you are able to sit in the comfort of your homes, click of your mouse, you are able to look at ProQuest, you're able to look at NDLTD, and you know what anybody has done, even obliquely connected, specifically to do with your topic. And you have a library, an entire digital library of thesis and dissertations, not to be scoffed at, because in the West, on ProQuest, you will find a lot of work already done on your topic. Roshan, you will find many dissertations on ProQuest. Posthumanism is quite current.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you'll find a lot of dissertations very useful, and you can cite all of them, there's no problem. But it'll be helpful because they would have done a lot of background reading. It will lead you on to other materials. Yeah. So not to be scoffed at, please do explore these databases. Yes. Anyone has had any luck with NDLTD?
No, ma'am. It's not showing neither my theory nor the title.
Oh, okay. Maybe access is now restricted. Try Open Library, please. This is for books, PDFs of books, mainly in the area of humanities and social sciences. Open is spelled as OAPEN, please. I put it on the chat box for you. Is this accessible? This is PDFs openly accessible for you. Texts, full texts of books. Any luck with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You're able to access books that you are interested in or which are useful to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The next one I think you must have heard of. It's called Project Gutenberg. And it gives you full texts of several books.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't
Yes.
need to buy your, text. You will get the full text here freely. This is a very useful library of over 60,000 free ebooks. You can choose from Kindle ebooks. You can download them or you can choose to read them online. You'll find some of the world's greatest literature here with a focus on older works for which the US copyright has expired. Thousands of volunteers have worked on digitizing and diligently proofreading these ebooks, both for enjoyment, for research, as well as for education. You will find this very, very useful library. How many of you were already aware of Project Gutenberg?
Yes, ma'am, we have used it. Yeah, we have used it.
Teachers have all used it. What about the others?
Yes, ma'am. I've used it too, but I couldn't
Okay.
find much related to what I wanted. But
Not related to your work, but definitely those who are working on novels, you would find many texts here. Yes? And you can check this out. Next, we move on to another open access. Now I'm going to, how good are we for a few more minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, some open access journals which you can use. All right. The first one, which looks at the biological basis of consciousness. Sudha, particularly for you. It's an open access journal called the Neuroscience of Consciousness. And even for you, Roshan. Neuroscience of Consciousness, an open access journal that publishes papers on the biological basis of consciousness. Okay, should I put it up on the chat box? Open access journals now. Neuroscience of Consciousness. Another one is called the Australasian Journal of Logic. The Australasian Journal of Logic. Australasian Journal of Logic. This one is a free open access journal that is run by the Australasian Association of Logic and Victoria University's Center for Logic, Language and Computation, and publishes articles on basically areas of logic. I don't know if it will be helpful for you, right? Another open access journal is called Ergo. It's called Ergo. You can always try it out. You might find something of interest. Huh? Ergo is an open access philosophy journal that accepts submissions on all philosophical topics. So you can also think about publishing in these open access journals. Yes. It is an open access philosophy journal, of course. Next one is called Informal Logic. Yes. This journal is a peer-reviewed journal that publishes articles and reviews on topics related to reasoning, argumentation in theory and in practice. It is deliberately multidisciplinary. It welcomes theoretical and empirical research from any pertinent field, not restricted to philosophy, rhetoric, communication, linguistics, artificial intelligence, education, law, psychology, anything at all, right? Another one is called Journal of Ethics and Social Philosophy. Why I'm mentioning these in case you want to publish in these. Yeah. Journal of Ethics and Social Philosophy, a peer-reviewed online journal in moral, social, political, and legal philosophy. It is also one that welcomes submission of articles in all these related fields of research, especially with regard to ethics of research or history of ethics, bearing directly on topics of contemporary interest, right? It might prove useful. All right. Are you with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. There are many more, but again, they are all to do with philosophy. Should I skip these?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll skip these. And we'll go on to things which will be specifically useful to literature. All right. This one it's called English Language and Literature Studies. English Language and Literature Studies. This one is an international double-blind peer-reviewed open access journal. Literature written in English language, English linguistics, translation studies. The coverage is only from 2011 onwards. So it's pretty current. Yeah, you can look at this one. You can check it out. Another one is called the International Journal of English Research. International Journal of English Research. You can also check this out. Peer-reviewed, indexed, open access journal, covers all areas of English and literature, literary language and language teaching. Only from November or December 2015 onwards. Earlier, it did not exist. Okay. The next one is simply called literature. This journal is simply called literature. It's an international peer-reviewed open access free journal that provides a forum for discussion, scholarship on the topic of literature, publishes articles, commentaries, creative papers, essays, opinion papers, reviews, also focuses on promoting dialogue and debate on various literary topics, right? The next one is called Other Voices. Put it on the chat box. Is it visible to you? Other Voices.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
another freely accessible electronic journal of cultural criticism. It's published by the University of Pennsylvania, and you'll find it very useful, especially cultural criticism. So Sudha, you can check this out. It's called Other Voices.
Yes,
Roshan,
ma'am.
yes, also Dhanalakshmi,
Yes, ma'am.
Shanti, you all find it very useful.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Now, of course, databases like the Web of Science, Scopus are all locked behind paywalls, right? Google Scholar can be accessed free of charge, but there are other academic search engines which I will end with other than Google Scholar, right? I don't know how many of you have tried your hand at Base. Have you heard of Base? Base is hosted at the Bielefeld University in Germany, and that's why it's named the Base, Bielefeld Academic Search Engine, right? This is got more than 150 million documents from over 7,000 sources, a very voluminous search engine, especially for academic web resources. Approximately 136 million articles, okay, and quite a few links to full texts. It combines entries from thousands of institutional repositories in one place. So I would definitely recommend that you check base out. Will you take 2 minutes to see if this works for you? Were you aware of base before this?
No.
Yes,
It's good.
This is something you should check out. Yes. Next, we move on to core.
Yeah.
Core. Core is another academic search engine, less known, unlike Google Scholar. This is less well known. It aggregates the world's research papers here, and for each search result, a link to the full text PDF or the full text web page is provided. Again, it covers over 136 million articles. All the articles on Core are open access. Please try it out for yourself. Yes? Are you able to access it? The next one I personally like, right? It's called Semantic Scholar. How many of you have tried this?
I've tried now.
Yeah, it's a new kid on the block. Its mission is to provide more relevant and impactful search results using AI-powered algorithms that find hidden connections and links between research topics. Approximately 40 million articles, several links to full texts. I have found great results on Semantic Scholar. So Sudha, treasure house of information.
Okay, ma'am, we'll check it out.
Okay, definitely should check Semantic Scholar. Yes. The next one is iSeek. Let me just put it on the chat box. Widely used search engine for academic research, specially designed to keep with students and teachers and scholars in mind. It only shows reliable and relevant results that save your time, enable you to get your work done quickly. You can find safe, authoritative, intelligent, time-saving resources with iSeek, right? This is also something you can explore. Did that come across on your chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The next one is RefSeek. This one is an academic search engine, which is even simpler than Google in appearance. It does not claim to offer more results in comparison to Google. Instead, it removes results that are not related to science, academia, and research. So the best thing about RefSeek is that you can search for information related to your subject without getting distracted by sponsored links. Sometimes that's very distracting, right? So you don't have any other sponsored links. A database of over 1 billion documents, 1 billion web pages, books, journals, newspapers, online encyclopedias, articles. It is an excellent companion for academic research. Do try it out.
Yeah, it's good, ma'am.
You guys already know about ResearchGate, so I am not mentioning it. So I think on the dot, 6 o'clock, right? I hope this has been a useful session.
Yes, ma'am. Surely. Thank you so much.
Because, sometimes we do need to be systematic in the way we gather data. And that is the reason I thought this would be a useful session. So all the best to all of you on your research journey. Remember, sometimes you
ma'am.
enjoy the journey more than, reaching the
Yeah,
destination.
yes,
Although you
yes.
guys are eager to reach your destination, the journey itself is so fascinating. And I'm so glad I'm able to share all this. In our time, we never had all this, but
Thank you so much.
have, kind of gathered all this with interactions with librarians and so many others who have assisted in our research collection. So I thought this is a very effective way of,
Thank you so
researching.
much,
So
ma'am. It's a
all
real
the-
treasure house, actually.
Yeah.
So don't ever say that you don't have time. You only have to manage yourself.
Yes.
Don't ever say that there's a dearth of info. There's a
No
lot
dearth at
out
all.
there.
There's an overdose of it.
Absolutely. So refine your search results and all the very best to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
How do we mark attendance? Do we have to?
Oh, I have no clue about that.
Oh, last time